Oh, yeah. Check, check. We are here. 1, 2, 1, 2. Yes, indeed. I think that is us. Got trying some new music out. Some royalty-free stream music. So we'll see how it goes. It's just playing a random selection at the moment. Yes. All right. It's been a while. It has been a while. Last stream was March 11th. 2 months. Oh man, this headphones cable is really quite broken. So yeah, just getting back into it. A lot of things happened. In the last couple of months. And I have been archiving all of the old CLS. All of the old versions, all the old commits, basically, because I was thinking about for the last little while I haven't been recording very much dev log stuff, so I thought, well, I'll try and get all the commits down, and then I can sort of record some footage at those different intervals of the different thing. And it's kind of where's this thing? Yeah, I've got this little script that pulls down every commit and then zips it and then unzips it into a folder, and you end up with all these folders, each with just like a random point in time that you can kind of run. Going back all the way to the beginning. I don't even know if, oh yeah, there is a Daisy Trains exe, and this is what is this one? History archive. Oh, these are old ones. DT Odin, DT release. See how many of them work. That one didn't work. There we go. A tree, for example, a tree. So yeah, so I want to go back through, mainly recap since the last stream, but also, it was fun to have a list of everything. And I did the main branch as well, which was, I think this is all C stuff, which I'm pretty sure doesn't. Oh yeah, the project could not be loaded. Okay, that's Raylib. So this is the C version using Raylib, I think. Yeah. I wonder what happens if I push this button. Oh yeah. So we get these old, whoa, the rotation's even backwards. I don't even know what the buttons are. Oh yeah, there we go. Slopes, back when slopes were a thing. It's running at 3,000 frames a second, which is nice. Do. Kia ora. Does this open a new instance of this every time I do it? While I'm waiting around, see if anybody comes and joins, but I'll see if I can make this one with some synthwave stuff. So the history requires like, well, this is the way I'm doing it. CPP branch. So there's 3 branches. It's quite messy. Can you do like open in terminal and that'll just do that? Okay. Doesn't remember what I did before. Get clone branch is CPP. Check that. Oh, C++. Plus, and then it is, what was the thing? Branch single or something? Single branch. I'm not very good with this. Branch, and then dot get. Then we need a copy of this. I'll make a copy of this script. CPP branch. I think it's fine to be. Where did I put it in the last one? It's in the actual data trans folder. Yeah. VS Code. So it's the same thing, but I just want to output it to a different folder. History folder CPP branch archive. So this is this. Probably rename it one per thing. CPP branch. It might give me an error. Run with PowerShell. Oh yeah, there we go. See, there it is expanding these zips. One dumb thing is I think I might include, it probably includes all the assets, which is probably quite important actually. But it's quite nice to have, like, I don't know how big these are. The main branch, the main branch archive. It's 1 gig, you know. Yeah, this does open a new instance of this every time. Pretty cool that it actually works. Oh, this seems like a similar one to the one we did before. Can't remember where we actually got to on the main branch before. We were like, let's make C++ a thing. Get rid of Raylid. Alright, here it is. In all its glory, it seems to do this. Build mode terrain. Oh, look at that. It's even got a little thing. Build mode rail. Oh, yo. Oh, it's so good. Is this resizable? Nope. Build mode train. Oh, it's even got cars and everything. Build mode feature. Build mode world, build mode train, build mode rail. Oh yeah, you can put a station down. Oh yeah, wow, and it just picks up stuff. Of course, everything's done with like hotkeys. I kind of like this retro looking one. This retro looking lad. Oh, it's even got some weird post-processing on it. It shows a little direction that the train's gonna go. It's kind of cool. Do we have this like feature, a stack rail station. Oh yeah, there we go. It doesn't seem to drop off there for some reason. Cool. Cool. Just, this is still archiving. History, the CPP branch. Sorry, the CPP branch archive. Let's pick some random point in there. Dragon laser. Yeah, we're about it. Yeah, it's almost like you don't stream for 2 months or post anything and no one's here. He's back. Wow. I've got something. Okay, because you're here. Let's just disrupt the whole stream and move on to something. You can critique me on this. I know this is your favorite thing to do. So it's regarding the rail builder that you sent me, which was really cool, except I didn't understand how it worked. I was going through it and I was like, all right, I just need to change a few things. And I was in there like, okay, this goes into, all right. So I used your inspiration. I used your inspiration to make the Railmaker 2000. We'll go into GeoNodes and just look at the absolute state of this. Oh yeah, this probably, maybe I bring this. Can you just grab a panel and like move it over here? Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so it has different profiles. So you can go to the flat curve, you can go to the slope straight, you can go to the bridge curve, and it's all procedural. It uses external curves for some stuff and then internal curves for some stuff. This is good music for this. It's got the sleepers, the tools for the sleepers, the tracks. I used your like random rotation ideas and stuff. Then supports are like bulled out by these curved bridge bull object. Well, this music's a bit much. And then it does cool stuff like it paints the vertices, which is good. And I can click UV preview. Look at that. This is like procedurally created UVs, which are not supposed to be great because I am triplanar mapping them in Substance. Sorry, but it was the only way I could get it to be the way I wanted it. With a UV previewer, bridge straight, each one's got like a different profile. Comes out with pretty reasonable geometry. And yeah, you got like sleeper in and out offsets and the random rotation and the spacing. A couple of the things I added was like clipping so that it doesn't clip into other cells and stuff. There's like bounding booleans. Yeah, I just cut, like whether it's triplanar or baking or something, there's always some piece of the puzzle that's not quite there in Blender that I'm like always battling. And then when I send it, because this gets exported just as is, you just export this and it'll apply all the geonodes, decimate, triangulate, smoothing, and it goes out with the vertex colors, which then are IDs, can be used as IDs. I'll show you. It does mean round tripping. Oh, you found a solution to normal Mac vaping. One day we will be free of Adobe completely. So there's a file for each rail piece. So there's like a double rail bridge thing. and you just import the model and drop the smart material, and it has like the, if I look at the ID mask, so that is, you when you go to paint the texture setting, the texture set, bake mesh maps, on ID you can select vertex color, and then it just brings them in, which is pretty sweet. So you can change the model and then just re-import it, and it will apply the thing exactly as you want it. And then you just output it again. It just means, yeah, the round trip. Black into Blender. We got these. If I find one that's like, yeah. So there's straight rail, bridge straight, hide you. Then we get this, and bringing in the shader, bringing in the stuff is pretty easy as well. You know, and you can reload these textures with one command. End up with also, I figured out in Substance finally how to, like, when you export the textures, making your own template that has just what you need, which is kind of helpful when you just overwrite them and reload them, and it ends up being a pretty fast, yeah. All open source alternatives. What are the alts, lab? What are the alts? Anyway, that was fun. Is this still downloading C++ stuff? So looking at these, sorry if this is all really small. So these are all the commits on the CPP branch. What happens if I wish I had not I think I get ignored binaries, which is kind of annoying. Because then if something is up with the build with something one or more, oh yeah, is this going to work? It seems to work. Oh yeah, no, and then you go CPP norm.json.hpp, no such file. Man, I hate, this is all part of what I dislike. Well, no one wanted to see that anyway. I found Direct Painter alternative most because I never use it, but there's a better version of Designer that I found. Is that Material Maker? Something different. Okay, so the Odin, the history archive, I called it. The last one was ding ding ding. What was the commit where we last committed ourselves in this? We did, does it say when? April 8th. Font drawing, no. Modular terrain, world gen. March, so it was March 11th, the last. February 20, March 4th, March 5th, March 16th. So it was this one, train navigation 441DD83. Is that going to be easy to find? 441DD83. DT debug. What happens when we come here? Oh, okay. Oh, well, there's a ocean. Look at that. The ocean's back. What was the actual state of last stream? What did the game look like? You're making games. He's doing it. Hey, rockers. Oh, they're not. They're not the problem, friend. What are you doing? What are you doing? Maybe we go back one to here. Debug. That looks the same to me. Debug. That looks the same to me. How many? Why did I commit all these things that are exactly the same? Unless it's just like, okay, this looks a bit more like it. How does this work? Terrain. Oh, yeah, world files. If I load this, it crashes. Okay, this is after I broke the thing. Is there not a generate random in here? Terrain. Oh yeah, there's little grass and little rail going. Lovely. Editor, go there or something. Trains. Oh yeah, there's this like trains panel. We had a thing, Daisy editor, that can go away somewhere else. Isn't this just so smooth? Doing fine, having to postpone next fest again. Recommended Steam Train Fest a while back. Oh yes, that was you. You have single-handedly set our whole family into a massive spiral. We just spent like the last month or two doing an application for a funding grant here in New Zealand, and we had to put together a whole plan, and part of our plan was not having a demo by then, but having a Steam page. That's our current plan, is just at least a Steam page. It doesn't look like this. This is what it looked like 2 months ago. I'm just sort of going back through and having a look at what's changed. This is, oh yeah, this is where we had little things, and we had resources of type like a wood resource that would make wood, and then you could do like this, put a station there, oh, and it would pick up wood. And then there was like combining of stuff. Funding grant does sound amazing. It was a huge task. It was they're very business oriented, and they wanted to see a very strong business plan, a lot of market research stuff, which was good, and it made us sort of sit down and write out this huge application. Yes. Guten Morgen, Andy Dev NZ. Andy knows what the game looks like. Andy knows what the game looks like a little bit more. I'm going back in time and sort of catching up with what has changed, because a lot has changed. And listening to some interesting music. Dragon Laser. Those deadlines of Steam events can be a lot of pressure. Exactly. It's like a balance between like how much pressure do you want to actually do stuff versus whether it's going to compromise things. And I think, you know, Andy and I were chatting about like, you know, you gotta push the button on something at some point. So there's factory, and the factory could be of type brown, and it would require wood. We made jokes about wood, wouldn't you know? And a train, I don't think there's like train orders or anything. It just kind of goes. Oh, and then the thing needed an output stack or something. Boom. Oh, look, and it makes the car go. Zoom, 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 zoom. Oh, yeah, I added that thing. That goes away if I go too close to the zoom. Releasing Devon, glad to catch up. Yes, indeed. It's funny that a little spoiler alert: the game is completely changed. Not fundamentally in terms of mechanics, but definitely in terms of like design. Yeah, well, this is like the state of the last stream, and we had other resources that made like sand, and stuff. It's out, bro. That game is out, bro. You gotta go get it now. Gotta go get it and leave a comment. Leave a review. Okay, so this was Daisy Train's version around the last stream. And then the next one. Now we've got an ocean plane. Oh, is this what I worked on? Okay, this came back, gave us a random generator. Oh yeah, it's got little, bridge building is back. What? Cool. It's all just all in one tool. Oh, bridge building was always there, but now it's got bridge models, little temp models. There's tunnel building with no models, I believe. We had these curvy rails, which, you know, may or may not still be with us. Configs, ocean config. Okay, I have these configs. You can, this is the scaling of the ocean. You see it's just a plane that follows around the camera. Is there a button to turn off this? There is. Look at that. Wow. Ocean scale. This ocean kind of looks kind of cool. It's using like, oh yeah, you got to be careful with these values. So this is like the roughness factor, which when the roughness is high, you don't get all these highlights. It looks kind of like a piece of plastic. Normal map strength. This is like, you can see the geometry of the normal maps. You can see all the triangles being like not enough res. Ocean Fresnel color. What happens there? It's doing a bit of Fresnel. Oh yeah, there's some sort of like coloring going on based on height. And there's some domain warping, which is like pushing the waves. There's no controls for any of this now. Yes. Train. The trains are the same, still here. We have trees, which is kind of cool. So yeah, that was, I guess, I don't know why I put the ocean back in at this point. Can't remember exactly what we were doing at this juncture. History archive, we go forward one. It'd be good if I had a modular terrain world gen train improvements. Terrain texture improvements. Is this what this is going to be? Looks the same to me. Oh yeah. What is this? This is 1BOD5DF. Doesn't seem to be. At some point, oh, we actually did train navigation in the devlog, didn't we? Oh, this is, oh yeah, so you can see the train finding its path, and there's a little debug where it shows where it's going. And the grass is broken, and now the train is broken, and this one may have some broken stuff in it. Oh, little rockers, that's right. we had a lot of stuff go on. We had a little rockers. Which way am I going? Oh yeah. We had a little rockers, and she is just the cutest. She's been real good, actually. She's been a bit of a dream baby. She's been sleeping and eating and growing, all those things that you want from baby, and she's like recognizes you and tracks you across the room and laughs at you and stuff. She's pretty awesome. Yeah. And then we had a super unfortunate incident with Basco, which sucked majorly. Actually, no, we had the ocean in the last devlog, I think. Anyway, Yeah. But Basco's on the mend, which is good. He was in an accident. It was not cool. Stack wood. There's still wood. Now I think the train can go. Does it now? No, it's trying to go to places. Now it's now it'll pathfind its way from place to place, which is pretty cool. Oh yeah, we didn't stream this, but it was in the last devlog. I can hear her in the background going, "Ah!" Yeah, it really was a major bummer, dude. But like he was injured really badly. He had surgery, and he had to pretty much be looked after 24 hours a day. So yes, yeah, I had to sit with him in my office, and so I just sat there and pretty much coded while he was in the, while we were looking after him. But it's load. Oh, look at that! And then all of a sudden, wow, that's a big change. It's a big change. What happened here? This must be what was the gap between these two? This was 044 CB. Is that where we're at? CB6FCC4. Yeah. Yeah, so this was like 10, 11 days later. And I think... oh, I don't know when this was. Terrain gen, yes. So we have a generator and some basic controls for frequency. Wow, it's so slow. Take 1 second to do that. Oh, I don't know why, because there's some, like an amplitude. And I changed this to be this hideous looking editor. What else has been changed? I don't think I changed too much else. It was mainly focusing on the world and the world gen size as well. We're in debug mode. I wonder if, where were we? This one, DT Odin. If I go, in maybe command prompt. Can I just open in terminal here and say build release? Will that just work? Building Odin release. There was a point where I switched the Odin compiler. DT, can I just do like that? Boom. Okay, this is release mode. World gen in 100 milliseconds. It's a bit better. Oh yeah, that's a bit faster. So yeah, this was using some noise, some, what's it called? Some fast noise. Making procedure generation. Yeah, kinda. I mean, I'm just taking the fast noise, like, just generates noise in a single file. It's like ported from C to Odin, and then sampling terrain. You see it creates some pretty wacky results. You can build bigger levels. This was the beginnings of it anyway, and then you could create amplitude to create interesting things. And it puts rocks down and trees down and that kind of thing, which is kind of cool. Yeah. There seems to be a thing called a port. And have I got this coastal cells? Oh yeah, I had this whole idea about coasts and ports. So can I build a port? It seems like the port builder doesn't work. So yeah, there was this idea that so the point of the game is you make cargo, and then we're developing the idea here. We're developing the idea. We're getting the we're getting the resources, and we're making cargo, and now we're taking it to a cargo ship, and then that's taking it off world and selling it on some market. And that's how you make money. Like, this is where the thinking is going. I wonder if I look at this and look somewhere, there was something about ships. Did I not do it? Odin declares using is not good anymore. That's one of the things. Odin declares using is not good anymore. There's a new Odin compiler, and it doesn't like the using keyword. So everywhere that you use genie, and you're using the using statement, using genie, replace every instance of calling every function from genie with genie dot. Modular terrain, world gen, train improvements. So I wonder what the train improvements were. DT release. Do trains like avoid each other and stuff? I don't know where I was at with that. Train will go down on a track. Let's make this go here. Can we build a bridge here? Oh, now I've got the bridge tool. Okay, yeah. Because I was like, don't put them all in one tool. Get a different train, put it there. Oh yeah, and we've got cargo loading and unloading. Stack here. Add some wood. And I think if I add some copper as well, and then put the station here, I don't think this train's going to do anything. If I stop this train, which train am I stopping? It's this guy. Okay, now we can give him a command and say, I want you to go load wood but not copper. And hopefully the way the system works is bad. The train tells its cars about the order, because the cars have to go through the station after the order, after the locomotive does. So now it will pick up this, and then we could put a stack here and a station here, and on that same train, say, go over here and just unload only wood. Wood. And so we could pick up copper as well and tell the train, tunnel through here, and say, come over here and we'll put a station here and a stack here. I don't know whether trains avoid each other or anything, so just keep like that. This is all making perfect sense, obviously. So this train, now we can add another stop and say to unload the copper only. So I don't know whether the train sees going now see knows the path around there. You see the little path finding thing. I don't know what at some point I was messing with the pickup algorithm. So he's picking up he's picking up backwards, which isn't quite right. And I think I fixed it so they can look into the stack and grab whatever. This is the state of my mind. Let's speed up the train and see what he does. Still picks up wood, drops off wood there, goes there. Now picks up both, drops only wood there, and with Transport Tycoon at this stage. Oh my gosh. So now we're kind of going into this realm of it's no longer this simple trains have simple brains and simple puzzles type thing. Now we're oh, you give orders and yada yada. Cool. Okay. State of your mind is crisscross tracks and always thinking about wood. Why have I been collecting wood all this time? Okay. Open in terminal. Build release. I love this. Building takes a little while. Oh, yes. That's Pepper's new thing is squealing really loudly. DT release. And this one says, oh, okay. Yeah, now we're starting to get somewhere. So according to the this is terrain texture improvements. Doesn't seem very. This is B843A01 maybe. Yes. Okay, so now I started going further off the deep end and being like, okay, so what about if Odin, man, I don't know, like Odin just seems to just not be a thing. It's just there and you do what you want to do and it is just there for you. I definitely like all that, like I definitely enjoy working with it much more. I don't seem to be in the way ever. Okay, so this one now has a generator. You can see that you can turn off the random seed and it will always be the same. This has now more things. And also you can see it's spawning these stone blocks. Because now I'm like going fully off the deep end and being like, okay, now it's a resource harvesting game where you put building. Okay, I don't have them yet, not in this one. But I'm like, okay, there's going to be stone blocks and trees and stuff, and you're going to extract the resources from the land and transport them to the factories, and you're going to do a whole logistics thing. Oh, this is kind of cool. We got these. You can get kind of cool shapes going on with this one. The trees are on a different thing. The trees also have a threshold, so you're like, oh, lots of trees. It seems backwards. After Game to Break became father for a few months ago, I returned to my sleep and it was so close to switch to Odin. You know, I realized yesterday, what was the nail in the coffin for the C++ project. Yesterday, I made it so this is the latest Daisy Trains. And just yesterday, I finally took the Genie folder, the source code, out of here and made it its own thing. So now there's another, oh no, recording error. I love it when I get recording error dropout detected. Just record, man. Anyway, where were we? Do I have it somewhere? So now new window, and there is Genie, and it's a different project with a different, it's in its own place, right? It's its own repository and stuff now. But all you need to do to then use it is in like the build file. I got this thing, collection engine equals the path to where it is. And also put that in the language server. And then it just works the same. And you can go and edit the files from here, or you can edit them in here. Now Genie is its own thing, right? And you can use it from multiple projects from the same source location. Now it's a library. Boom. And that took like a, you know, not a long time at all. But when I tried to do that with the C++ version, we made the Game Jam version, and I was like copy pasting the source files into VS, and now I'm in Visual Studio and I'm like, oh, this needs to do this and all these dependencies and these things, and then like, oh, this should be a sub module of that, and oh god, I just hate the ecosystem so much. Like the programming is okay, but then just being such a noob around like building and all that other stuff was just killing my morale. Did an iteration with Odin a year or so, but back then it lacked the latest SDL and wasn't going to write bindings. Now it feels like C++ is quite messy, but still much progress. Most of it works. I fear having to restart with nothing at all in Odin. Yeah, that's what I ended up doing. And I only started that initial port from C. So this was add lots, curved lines to bridges. This was 2025. Oh yeah, so it was like, where are we? January 2025, I did an experiment. And then November. So it's November, December, January, February, March, April. 5 months. And now the game has far surpassed C++. Yeah, also, I don't know, doing it the second time, you look at that mess that I did the same thing, made a big mess. And then Odin helps, I find it to help with like cleaning things up and making them a lot more succinct, especially the second time when you're kind of writing it again. Where were we? Oh yeah, we're looking here. So we are making resources, kind of. Now we've got multiple different block types, and we've got underwater blocks for some reason. I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. Maybe that could be, maybe you can build bridges across, does it? Oh yeah, so you can build bridges from there to there. But this one, you can't. I'm like, oh, the underwater cells need to support the bridge. I was like, oh, that could be an interesting challenge. Something. Tree chance. Generate lots of trees. The world can get quite big. It's pretty sweet. It falls off in like a radius around itself. Anyway, so that was that one. Feels like now after the parental leave is like a good point of time since my mind is ooga booga mode. Need to relearn the project. Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting how like life, not trauma, but life events, difficult life events make you like, it requires so much like mind power to stay in your project. And sometimes you have these crazy life events and they lead you to like go, like when dog got hurt, I was like, oh man, this is too much. I got a brand new baby and dog got hurt. But then somehow just like locked in and carried on. Oh no, I opened with Z. What even is this? I mean, I don't want to say rewrite your whole project because, you know. I found it to be like, I don't know, it took away all the problems that I had. Having a history of devlogs and video helped a lot to get back into things. Yeah. Now we've got entities. Was this always the thing? Entity groups. Trees. Was that a thing before? In the last one? Oh, we're getting... What was this? Oh, this is... this looks like memory allocations. Oh no, freeing images. Ending allocations not free, 259. Well, Odin will tell you that you didn't free some memory. Yeah, definitely. You go on these weird... It's weird, eh? How you go on these, like, cycles of making... Like, sometimes you're like, this is too difficult. And then you're like, that being too difficult is... Oh, we do have entities. Oh yeah, entities is a whole nother conversation. Entities, now everything is an entity. Oh yeah, we did do that. We've been through that. We've been through all that. History archive. What is the difference here? What is the difference in this one? I don't know. This music is out the gate, mate. Terrain texture improvements. Curved slopes. Is this? Oh yeah. So there's this curved slopes thing where they're like now trains like interpolate smoothly down curves. Supposedly, they maybe do and they maybe don't. And it creates these crazy curves. This is what I'm spending my time on. Oh, and you can do this now? Pretty cool. Curved rail. Yep. Let's go force an Odin style C++ onto media that requires more discipline and then simply coding. Well, yeah, Odin takes away, like, it's my favorite thing, like, no methods. Now I don't need to think about when to use a method or not, because there are none. Also, Odin does things like, I mean, everything's just kind of data. Like, no constructors and destructors and complicated things like that. So your struct is what it is. It's not like, it doesn't contain another thing that the language kind of doesn't know what it is. There's a real cool, can I get serialization up here? Genie serializer, or is it Genie serialized fields? So this is a bit out the gate, but there's this thing, field set create from struct, right? So you can give it a struct, and there's a reflection package that takes the struct out and knows what names it has and knows what tags it has. So say train config. So I can create a struct called train config, right? And it has these fields. In fact, the better one is ocean. I create all these fields that I want, and then I can even tag them. And then there's this config, and it goes into the config system. It looks for the file, and these are the defaults, and you can add and remove things. And then it just goes in, the engine just like makes a window and gives you all the widgets and writes down to the file automatically at the end if it's on like autosave or whatever. But it just can look at the struct and look at the names. Yeah. Which is rad. Anyway, what were we looking at? I think we looked at this one. We're in a similar kind of state. Can't even remember what one we're up to. CB, C something, Odin. Okay, this one's, oh, yo, perfect. Building Odin release, DT release. Oh, look at it go. Okay, for some reason it opens on a different window. Hey, why doesn't this one have 10,000 things in it? Did I turn them off? Oh yeah, here you can see we're getting sand tiles and like copper. Don't worry, I hate to say it, but a lot of this stuff is no longer in the game. But don't worry, we'll get there. I'm going to add some water depth and generator level. Oh, yo, that's a lot of underwater tiles. So building, oh yeah, now we've got these extractors. And looking at this, like the wood thing needs trees, for example. And it will look around itself in some radius and be like, yeah, I can use those trees. And then we could build a stack and it will start making stuff. And like a sand mine, we'll use sand tiles, and a stone mine, we'll use the stone tiles. And the copper one, it seems like copper's very rare. Copper mine. I'll get to boats in a moment because there is some port. For some reason, like the ports, I don't know when I put these ports in, but I made cargo ships and everything, but it was way earlier on, so I don't know. I think they got killed. But yeah, now the game's about like, oh, you need to get all these different things and transport them somewhere for some reason. Land amp, we can get some big heavy mountainous lands. It's fun to essentially watch a time lapse in real time of dev in progress. Yeah, this is what the kind of the secondary goal of this stream, and I don't know, actually it's a total fail so far because the recording's not working. I was going to record this explanation of all these different points in the dev and then make a devlog out of it, but it seems like I might have to do that separately. Do it all over again. Whatever, it just needs to happen quickly. Yeah. So yeah. So we're in this, like, we're building some crazy resource management game. This is where we were kind of at that point. This was, I don't know. How'd you go? Build, release again. Just to go through these, step through these and have a look. DT release. Okay. Oh, okay. Now, okay, we were in this zone. Now look, we've got UI all of a sudden. And we've got there's a game. Okay, breaking ground. Place your depot to get started. Your depot is where you'll store your resources for use in building your railways. Depots store their resources on stacks around the building. And look, it's an actual game, and it's like, okay, where do you want to put your depot? Because now I'm like, okay, there's a central point where you bring resources and you collect them and they become your like currency to build stuff, and it gives you some resources. Look, we got UI. When did all this happen? I don't know. And if I build rail, what happens? Does it cost me anything? No, it's giving me 100 wood and 50 iron, and I'm like, okay, maybe you're gonna have to get resources from places. So you put one here, and then I wonder if this works. Build a lumber yard down here. And I don't think you build stacks at this point. You have to make them with the debug thingamabob. It'll start making that. Whoa. I just totally put one underneath there, and it's going to crash the game soon. That was a mistake. Oh yeah, I took out curved slopes because I was like, they're ugly. They're not going to be a thing in my game. Okay. So then we're like, okay, now you build a train and you tell it to go... No running! Train, go there, and then go there. And now it has a schedule, and you can say load up on wood and then unload some wood. And it probably won't work the first time because of the bug in the system, but it will go from thing to thing. And I wonder if this actually gives you resources. Yeah, it picks up wood. And yeah, the wood went up. 101. And I think we got configs here for game UI config. Oh yeah, we got little colors. Don't save this. Window rounding, that's not that. The resource bar. The resource bar width, and says these all these rects that, I don't know if you can see that, all these rects that kind of auto build themselves to the sizes that they need to be. This is like this giant outline. Resource bar outline. There's little rects with outlines and stuff. Text main color, whatever. If we welded it, if we generate a new world, it starts this process again. There's these animated things. Rockers, yo! Oh yeah, how does the UI work? Oh, well, you know, I'm gonna be honest with you here. I was like really scared of UI for a very long time. And I think I've got a thing in this, open with, I did have a thing. Basically, I was conferring with one of the chats, one of the LLMs, and I was like, how do I make UI? I'm scared. I need text rendering and something. And it's like, don't be scared. I did go to the mountains. It said, don't be scared. What? No, that's not a Mac. It's just some Windows with customizations. It said, don't be scared. All you need is a rect and a rect and some text, bro. And both of those things are rects. And so it was like, why don't you use this thing that like Casey Muratori made popular, which is like rect cutting. Where you like get a rect and then you cut the rect and it returns like the percentage of that rect, and you can pad the rect and you just like do it in code. And I started using it. I was like, yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Get wrecked. That's the Jai rect library, isn't it? So I'm just thinking if I close this latest one and go to, it'd be cool if I could just open here. This is not easy to open. Can I just open this? Maybe I can get this. File, new window, and go open folder. Can I just go to there? Yes, select folder. Okay. Did it work? Okay, now we're in here. At this stage, right? At this state. Did it work? Yes. Okay. Because I had a thing, I think, to test this. Game UI. Oh, it's got the wrong colors and everything. I had a thing called like draw test rects. Test, draw, test, game UI widgets, draw test boxes. Where did I call it? Game UI update. UI widgets, draw test boxes. Okay, let's see what happens. Zoop. Oh yeah, lovely. Okay. Zoop. So this is like a bunch of rect things, and I was testing the different animations and seeing that things were working. So this is like, this is showing how the rect cutting kind of works. No matter the size, so it's based on the first window, and then the first window you cut the top off and you pad that in, and then you cut the content area. And the text formatting, I'm not gonna lie, I just asked for some LLM-y stuff. The doggies, where are the doggies? Doggies are doing all right. sort of SDF-y kind of, is it SDF? All that stuff's done in the shader. So it's just like creating vertices, and each vertex has the information about how rounded I am and how much to apply whatever color and all that. So you can change the color, which is kind of cool. And I'm like, yo, man, this might not be the most easy to use in terms of you got to like write all the code by hand. Also, there's, oh no, I messed up. You've got to like hand code the UI, but then you build little widget helpers and stuff, and you kind of start getting to a point where it's like actually quite fun to use. I'm going to start a new level just so it re-brings me out these things. There's issues with like layering because everything's just drawn in order and the text is always drawn after the rect. Frame rounding, window title height. It's kind of cool to just, I kind of like the way it looks. Oh, inverted padding, let's go. Anyway, so yeah, I was like, this is cool. I actually think this could work as a entry point to UI. Now what do we got? This opens a new terminal window every time I do this. Cool beans. I thought, how did they do that kind of thing? And also it's mathematically laid out. So there's a thing like a split, and it'll give you back, like you use a, you give it, this is some flexi splits, but there's like split H, and you give it a rect, how many times you want to split it and what your gap is, and it'll give you back like a slice of rects. And it does this all like it allocates the rects on the temp allocator, which is fine because we're building it in real time. It's all immediate mode. And it will give you back like, okay, split this thing into however many cargo pieces I have, and then it'll give you those, and then you can do them and put text in and all that. It's quite fun. I don't know what this one is. What has changed? Breaking ground. Okay. This seems like we're still on the same thing, but now perhaps this... Oh yeah, now we've got pop-ups, we got text, we got pop-ups. And now things actually cost you resources and it pulls it off your resource block. Man, I don't know if at any point this looks like a good idea. Let me know. Oh yeah, here's something I thought that I was very, like, I thought was so cool. I don't know if you can even see it. Is this gonna... The buttons are like, you see there's a bit of a gradient happening on just the outline. Whoa. And this was just like, I was like, oh, if you just modulate the brightness by the Y, like the UV of the Y, and make it kind of darker as it goes, then you get this like free like lighting. I don't know if it looks super good, but it kind of just does a little bit of something. Do I have, oh yeah, now I've got train panel. See, this is what I'm talking about, these like things here. So now you create a little content area and then you split it however many trains you have and just say, hey, trains, whoa, why is train being all crazy? This train, why are you there? I don't have a train pickup button. And it'll give me a little thing, and then if I put a station down, go back to the trains, and there's an arrow now, and I can say there, and now I've recreated this little a basic thing. It's supposed to have all the different types of cargo. Yeah, But again, you know, like, it's fun. It's fun to use and fun to mess around with. Window rounding. So it's just, they're probably, to create like a UI style. Oh, here the rounding's a bit broken at this stage. I think I improved the shader a little bit. You make it square, you can make it whatever. Oh, is this got, no, I haven't quite got there yet. I haven't quite got there. We do have pop-ups. We've got like text rendering. I think the pop-ups might be a bit, oh, they seem to be like they're in world to screen space, like they're projected from screen space, from world space into screen space. They're kind of all right. Yeah, so the UI development was really cool to kind of like I admit I had to have a little help with it, but you know, on a project like this, you're gonna have to. I was trying new AI code stuff the other day. Now I don't feel scared of making my own engine anymore. At least not with IA supporting me. Intelligent artificial. Yeah, like I'd love to say, oh, I just figured all this out myself, but there's definitely gaps. When there's gaps and there's things, it's like, even like, how should I be approaching this UI thing? So you go read some article online, it's like, oh, you need like a bottom-up hierarchy with all these things. And then it's like, oh, well, you could just use this rect cutting thing. And then like you check if the mouse is in the rect, and then that's pretty much it. I don't know. I mean, is it vibe coding? I don't know. If I add more trains, oh yeah, this has got a little, that's got scroll bar as well. And like, this taught me about OpenGL, like scissoring. Taught me about scissoring. OpenGL has a thing where you can like cut a thing, but it was like getting real messy with the batching, and now it's like, oh, now we need to seal the batches and all this stuff. And but you know, it's pretty ugly to write. Don't think it's something to feel bad about. You're building a full engine. No way you're going to master and doing all the moving parts in the engine. Yeah, I know. I guess the main thing is like trying to retain a general understanding of the code to a degree of like, you could go in there and, you know, read it, understand it, change it. You don't want to be, I try to avoid putting in things that I'm just like, oh yeah, that seems all right. For some things, it's like, oh, what is the math for rounding a rectangle in shader? Like, that's going to be what it is. In fact, it wasn't great to begin with, and it did get better. But some things, like what's the math of like padding a rect? There you go. That. I do have a story about that as we get closer, because we had to do this application and I didn't have to submit a build, but I did want to submit a video, and the game like took some pretty big leaps, and there were a couple of things I wanted that were going to take some time to figure out. And it was the first time I let the agent actually insert code in the project. And while it kind of worked for certain things, now there's actually this code that I made it like put a tag next to anything that has that it wrote, because I'm going to have to go back and fix it all, because it doesn't like holistically understand what's going on. It just like, you go, oh, there's a problem with this. It's like, oh yeah, well, I'll just hack this thing together and chuck it in there, and now it works. You're like, that was bad. It's like a stain, and now I got to go back and like pull that stuff out and fix it, because yeah, that won't fly. But for like a demonstration when you're under crunch time, and now you're like, oh god, these are tricky moments, and not the ones going forward. Anyway, carrying on with this little thing. What has changed in 9.8? No, not get ignore. What has changed in this one? Open terminal. Build the latest. Okay, we're back. We're still breaking ground. I don't know what's changing here. Looking at this, we are 806. Let's just look at the thing. Oh, this is the wrong one. Recent, we'll go to Daisy Trains. Build me a graph that I can read easily. It'd be cool if it showed me what the thing is so I didn't have to. UI layout, buttons, UI animations, train behavior improvements, 806. Train behavior improvements. What train behavior improvements? Oh, is this where like the train... Oh look, the trains are now color-coded. Trains do not go by default. There's a little close button. It shows... Oh yeah, now the trains, I was working on this hazard system where now I want them to like detect the end of the rail. And they go around and they go around, and then they should slow down and nicely stop just before the end of the rail. And then when you add a new rail, it detects that. And then when you add a different train, it will detect the train in front of it. I believe it draws an exclamation point at wherever it sees an issue. I put this one here and stop it. Now they should all stop. Oh yeah, now you can play the game with just the UI. So I start that train, and then hopefully they all start running again. Yep. Okay, so they look out for one another. And then that, and then that, and then that. And then they remember this stuff. Kind of getting somewhere. Building, there still doesn't seem to be a port. I don't know whether I fixed the port. There was a port somewhere back in the time. Back in time there was a port somewhere. Okay, so now we're getting to this. I'm like trying very desperately to make a gameplay design playable. I'm like, I want to be able, okay, you got to harvest resources and then you need resources to build stuff. But there's this kind of weird loop. And it wasn't gelling particularly. I was still kind of not 100% sure. So that was train behavior, model component improvements, world chunks, UI icons, rect SDF shapes, rail builder improvements. This one sounds like a lot of stuff happened. DT Odin. What's your game about? I never asked. Is it about trains? Okay. Play still in this thing. I keep giving myself... Oh yeah, there's little... Now there's texture rendering up here. You got these things. Okay, this is a big change that had been in the making for a long time. So now that we had rect, I was like, the rail builder always suffered from like world space connections. So we go back one. I think it's this one. Sorry if this is a little spirally. So see, it's drawing these spheres in world space. They're underneath the grass. If they're occluded for some reason, you can't see that it's there behind the thing. I was always like, this rail system needs screen space controls. Medieval stealth game inspired by late 90s. Like Thief. I love Thief. Thief was badass. And real scary when the guards got you. History archive. DT Odin, DT release. Opening in the wrong monitor for some reason. Place your thing. Yeah, so now these are actually rects, but they're just got heavy rounding on them. And they work in screen space versus world space. Oh yeah, and there's this SDF blending. So I found that SDF code that guy, that shader wizard dude, IQ, whatever his name is. He's got examples of all the different SDFs and doing like blending based on how far away you are from the thing. Oh yeah, we're still in this mode. But yeah, also you can now, before it was like some weird distance check, now it's like, is the mouse in the rect? And in fact, I give it a little buffer of like 10% extra. There's like an invisible rect. But yeah, that to me was like a huge improvement in the rail building thing. That I've been wanting to do for ages. Anyway, was there. What was the other thing that was part of that? UI icons, SDF shapes, railbird improvements. Oh yeah, cool. Oh, and world chunking. World editor, generate a big world. That's got some more amplitude or something. Oh yeah, this sounds like some Transport Tycoon stuff. Yeah, man. Has it got the old-timey graphics? If we look at the grid data, now we can draw the chunks. So, yeah, originally, like, when you're like projecting the mouse ray into the world, you're testing every single cell in the world, and I was like, that's not going to scale for large worlds. So now it first does a mouse ray into these grid chunks and grabs the grid chunks that it's passing through, and then tests the cells in those chunks. And then you get another thing you can see here on the left of the screen. These are the active and inactive chunks. And so when they're out of screen, now we're just not drawing them anymore. I can't manually turn them off and on anymore because they're overwritten, but this is like also a thing that's trying to fix issues with rendering huge amounts of grass and cells that are off screen. In fact, I think there's some debug stuff going on. Oh yeah, chunk. It's sort of telling me how long it's taking to turn on and off the chunks. Oh yeah, the ocean. I kind of left the ocean alone for a while. There's a lot of chunks setting and unsetting active, and I was a bit worried because the theory is that each cell hides, I think at this stage, entities, foliage. There's 60,000 grass entities. This is in, yeah, and see, it's turned a lot of them off. Isn't it cool that you can just draw 60,000 things in IMGUI and just be like, yo, our frame time, oh no, our frame time's 20 milliseconds. Okay, yeah, that takes some time off the clock. So we'll stop there. Now it's 8 milliseconds. It's still V-synced. In fact, frame time is 1 millisecond. 1 to 2 milliseconds-ish. So yeah, this is the beginning of like a culling system. And new modular bridge building. Let's go. How many command prompts have we got? Lots. History archive. In. Open a terminal. Build, release. Okay, entities, error. A lot of errors. This font is super unreadable. Entity map. Why are we... Let's just have a look. So what is supposed to be different about this one? And where is my mouse cursor? I don't know what changed on this one. Oh, okay. Whoa. Don't know why the mouse cursor is not showing. What was actually changed on this? New modular bridge building. Sounds important. I think... Oh, we're in some full screen mode and the mouse is all broken. See if we can make it work without a mouse. Rail. Okay. Bridge. Oh yeah, bridge now has this mode. This is really... sucks that it doesn't work properly. Let's try the debug build. Oh yeah, we have a mouse now. Okay. So the bridges used to just sort of auto span across where they could. And I was like, nah man, we need like more bridge power. So I started making this thing where now bridges can be curved. And I don't know what level of control they are, but they should also, oh, they don't quite work. There's a lot of edge cases of like, are they, you can't build a bridge there because there's already a bridge there, you can there. It's like, oh, you can't build a bridge there. That seems fair. Rail bridge. It does, oh yeah, it knows about height. It's got a different model. This is kind of working towards like, oh, this will expand our ability to build cool stuff. Especially on these like areas underwater where you might want to join two islands. Go train, go. Also now we've finally got a FPS counter in the game UI so we can turn off the Genie UI and just have a look at this incredible game that's now brown for some reason. By using the SDF render to render little X's, which is kind of cool. Yep. So this bridge stuff, bridge builder fixes, further bridge improvements, bridge drag to build. This was like a bit of a run of bridgeification. Still in keeping with this idea, but getting majorly sidetracked. Oh yeah, now I switched it to you hold control and now you're in bridge mode. And it kind of knows that you can't build a bridge there, but you can build a bridge on top of another bridge. And you should be able to build a bridge on top of that bridge. You can build a bridge over this here. You build a bridge like that. You can then build, see it kind of gives you where you're allowed to, it knows what's like okay, and there was a lot of like logic in terms of like, and this is the kind of stuff that AI cannot help you with because it just doesn't understand your whole system that you've been building for 2 years, so you just gotta, oh yeah, now I've like run out of resources. To turn free resources on and it's built some bad bridge cells and some bad bridge nodes. I know it hasn't kind of broken that badly. Oh, you can still build bridges over other bridges like that. So yeah, I was like this, oh, there's going to be major versatility now. Gotta head off. Have a great rest of the stream. Cheers, Andy. Good to see you, mate. Oh, cheers, guys. Nice chatting with you. Dun, 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 dun. TT Odin. Let's just run the debug to see if it works. Oh yeah, now there's a little thing, and hopefully things are starting to stabilize and be better, and know that you shouldn't be able to do that, but you still can for some reason. Also, there's issues now, like now the bridge is blocking the mouse and I can't like get the nodes I want to get. This is all some work in progress stuff. Chunk set active, chunk set active. It's doing all the culling and whatnot. Oh, that was a crash. Let's just carry on. I think this is all just like continuing the building of the bridges. Now we've got a little graph. Oh yeah, okay, now we're starting to get into like reflections and whatnot. What is this one called? Bridge drag to build, daisies, reflections, work in progress. Okay, so we've got daisies back in the game, which is a big thing. I keep having to give myself more and more resources at the start because you just run out so quickly. We're starting to try and understand how reflections work with, this is like cube map reflections, which is beginning to give like much more character to the water. Also there's like grass, you see the daisies just turn off at a certain zoom, and so does the grass. Almost like at a certain level we just don't need to render the grass, so we just switch it off. Debug also renders less grass. If I try the release, you never know when was the last time I built a release mode one. It has a lot more grass instances. We turn off VSync, we render at 2 milliseconds, which is pretty cool. We can look at the graph. This is uncapped, so it's just going as fast as it can, and 2 milliseconds is a reference, so showing what we're getting as we go up and we turn the grass off. That's the biggest thing, and now we're under 2 milliseconds. About here where we've got like a maximum amount of rendered grass, now it's still 2 milliseconds, so we're happy with this, and we're doing our culling, and we're hopefully not getting too many like major drops. Oh yeah, the bridge building is kind of beginning to stabilize. And you can build layered bridges like this. It knows that I can't really build a bridge there or there, but I can probably build one like there. If there was a bridge like there and there, it knows that. Oh, I ran out of resources. It knows. Now I've broken the whole system. But yeah, it knows about that, which is kind of like, okay, cool. Also, I don't know whether we're getting reflections in. This is like going handies without VSync on. Also, this made me realize something. Sorry, I'm just spiraling on. I hope this is interesting to certain people. This is showing like a yellow line is like it's on time, and a red line is it's off time, or it's over. If I turn off VSync and set the frame target to 120, which is the refresh rate of the screen, but VSync's not on, you can see like it easily makes each frame. But with VSync on, this must be the timing's being driven by the waiting for the monitor, syncing with the monitor. And like, you know, making this little chart seems like a dumb thing. It's just using the rec system again to draw a thing for every frame time within a window. And then you immediately, that was the first time I was like, oh, I see how the VSync is kind of affecting things. Also, it made me realize that my clock timings were all out for the sleep and stuff. One wood. Fixed grass culling. There's a lot of fixed grass culling because it kept breaking the way that it was being managed. Yeah, that one didn't work. Yeah, we're adapting our little reflection things, and at some point we start applying the same cube maps to rail and metallic things. Oh yeah, so it's reflecting. It is like this hideous mirror reflections. You can kind of see the cube map in there. So this is like default OpenGL cube map doing its thing. It's also creating reflections on non-metallic objects, I think, at this point, which is kind of bad. But it does, at some point I put like a real metallic train in here. Yes, this is the train that was made by Hefix from the RoboMo game. Like a year ago or something, we finally got it in the game. Go train, go. And without the metallic reflections, it's just like a grey blob. But now it's got this little sky reflections going, which there's like some complicated stuff around, like the blurry reflections, not blurry reflections, but like diffuse reflections or something. Like if you look at Eevee in Blender, the way it does roughness and reflections together, metallic and roughness with like a matte cap thing, it looks really cool. Yeah. Carrying on this epic music. Oh wow, that's a big change. A big change has occurred. Yeah, so this is where we started changing a lot of things. Render improvements, shadows, HDR, and tone mapping. So this is all stuff that we had in the last version that now we took a little time because we're doing like an application. We wanted it to look as good as possible. This includes like depth effects, like the water's edge, this fade out and fall off into nothingness, and some tone mapping. So we have a tone map mode with multiple different tone maps. Some of them look much better than others, especially like the ones that are just nothing. I ended up going with like 2. Is it this one? No. 5? I think it's this one. It's like Uchimara or whatever. And there's some extra controls for like contrast. So yeah, now we're putting the render through an HDR, and it's going through an HDR pass. So it's being rendered to a HDR texture and then being tone mapped back to SDR via a bunch of different tone mappers that we can mess with, and like a bit of post-processing, some shadows, and also we're beginning to now change the whole point of the game, which is like changing quite bigly from industrial resource management to holiday tourism as a theme. So people come to the islands and they want to go visit places. So I started by building these little villages, like maybe they want to go to this village. So you gotta make a little train trip for them to go. And I think the trains have all changed and everything here. Yeah, now we've got little passenger trains instead of other trains. It's using some Kenny stuff. And building ports. Do ports exist? Oh yeah, ports even exist. Wow, this has been a big change. There it goes, a cruise ship. Yeah. Yeah, so this was like, we were realizing that like there are a lot of like resource management games, there are a lot of like automation, logistics games, there's a lot of Factorio and Factorio likes, and I don't think we really have the ability to compete with those type of titles. And so I was thinking like, what's something that's a little different in terms of theming that doesn't involve like taking resources out of the ground, you know, like we've been doing that a lot in theme wise, and trying something that's a bit more like fun oriented. So the idea is like you build a port and ships come and bring passengers, and then now we're managing passengers, and each passenger has like a itinerary. They want to go here, and they want to go here and here. You connect up the trains and you generate money from the tickets. And also you could do things like having quality of the scenery seen on the train, how long they had to wait, whatever. And then you get more passengers and you go to more places. But the other thing I wanted to add to that was like landmarks. What happens if I just run this release mode one? Is it going to work? Do we have landmarks yet? I don't know what has changed in this. Render config, not much. Train stop at station demo. Okay, demo ferry pathfinding. Yep, that all seems good. Building a port. Yes. So building a port, and now you can build out little wharfs, and the boats need different depths. And we'll build another port. I think I just push one and it spawns a boat. Oh yeah, so a little boat comes and they pathfind their way to the port, and they're only allowed to go over a certain depth of tiles. Cruise ships. Two will spawn a ferry, I believe, a little guy. So I was thinking of these ideas like ferries come with a bunch of passengers, and now you got to like take them on this sweet holiday, and it's looking like this like Caribbean adventure. They don't really dock properly or anything. They just this is just a pathfinding demo where they will go to this and then try to go to the next one. This is going to bounce back and forth. Which takes us to our final thing of where we got to. Application showcase complete. Right, so now it spawns not only why does this not have my little thing in it? Should do. Now it spawns a temporary little village. Oh, there's grass, wind, and say this is a landmark where you might want to offer people. Actually, I think this might be better in debug. It might be more complete. Huh. Let's just go to the thing and run it from here. Oh yeah, now there's a little world generation panel. It's like in-game UI, so I could do a little demo of that. Zip zip. It is in debug mode. Let's run it in release mode. Excuse me. Zip. Okay. 121,000 entities generating. So it generates a world of this size in 200 milliseconds, which is kind of cool. You can change the land height. You can add like mountainous regions like this. Tree density, we'll make a big world. It took 200 milliseconds. We'll do like that. And it will, release is very slow for some reason. Why is it slow? Model components process. Taking entity, is it because I put this accumulator thing on there? Did that crash? Let's just take that little profiler out of there. Entity, this accumulator, we won't do this. See if that's still broken. Oh yeah, that seems better. And that accumulator was very slow. Okay. So we build a big world, a big old world, and it tries to populate the world with these, yeah, like over here is a beach resort. There it is. It's a little temp art beach resort. So we can build a station over here and it kind of realizes that there's a resort over here and you might be like, yo, and there's a little train, little icons going on now. Port, you might want to build a port somewhere like here that can access different types of ships. So they'll bring in a thing and then you build your little station over by the port and now you want to like, okay, we would need to like link up. Let's first link up the beach resort to this thing. And we don't currently have passengers or anything. None of that stuff works, but we can just showcase a little bit of the train pathfinding. We'll turn off these icons. Is it I for icons? Train. Choose a train. Put it down. It looks a little crazy. Are we paused? Oh yeah, there we go. Turn off the world generator. So we can create these things. And it'll make a little thing and it will go, and we've got a little train follow cam now. The game has become infinitely cuter. And I think the train should, I think it's going to the other station first. We'll just speed it up a little bit. Now it should pull to a stop. Also, this is high tech. Trains stop at stations. I think we've even got a first person view, which is very work in progress at the moment. So yeah, it definitely looks cooler and the theme has changed a lot. We're back in some of our rendering stuff. So yeah, we'll see how we go with this new theme. This new plan to like make the game design a bit different and less sort of harvesting mineral type things. And more about making sweet train trips for people's holidays. See how that vibes with the audience. Might cut this into a little devlog and get a little vibe for how the change is going to be received. What is this music, man? Let's just not save this. We have the ability to change things like, make everything underwater. This is probably my favorite new feature. Change the normal map strength of the ocean. Oh yeah, there we go. There we go. Doing. And there's some reflection strength stuff. That's kind of cool without the reflections. There's also some depth fog. Oh, yo. I don't have near and far for the depth fog, do I? Yeah, but yeah. I'll take that as a resounding confirmation of our design decisions. And yeah, it's good to catch up. Fortunately, the whole plan with this was to record this and then be able to cut it into a thing, and the recording was just tanking the stream, so we didn't record it. We might have to kind of do all that again, but we'll see. It's been good to go through and have a look at these histories. CPP branch. I'm not going to be able to even play these CPP ones because they're probably not going to have. Oh, daisytrains.exe, does it work? It's probably some real old version. Oh, yo, there it is. Oh, good old daisy trains. Seems to be crashing at some point. Oh, it was a card game at some point. This was still pretty slick, this moving of things and the little particle systems. Huh. It's crazy just how much making we've done. I wonder why the grass didn't work on that. Takes so much longer to load in the old version. I think that was due to not having binary assets, but building the GLTFs every time. Alright, dudes. Well, we got from beginning to end on that. And a couple of hours. So yeah, we'll try stream some more. We'll see how we go. I'm still working towards actual gameplay. Looks nice. Thanks, boss. But yeah, there's a lot of the systems are there. Engine's fun to use. It's a lot like more usable. Having 2D drawing is very cool as well. Text is incredible. So yeah, we'll keep trialing this new idea and then keep you guys updated. But thanks for watching, and progress, the visuals improve every time. Yeah, thanks mate. Yeah, keep improving those visuals and one day we'll actually have a demo. Yeah, we're working towards sort of an internal demo, which will be like 4 people that are sort of on the Discord and stuff. And anybody who, I mean, once we have it, then we'll sort of make a fuss about that. And that might go on itch or something at some point, but it'd be cool to have some initial feedback from people and get in some early super alpha testing, which would be cool. So yeah, I just got to expand the game loop and get it to that point where it's like hands-onable a little bit, even in a real basic state. And then never give up. Maybe give up a little bit. I mean, it has been a year and a half plus a year of prototyping, so we'll see what they say about this funding application thing, because that we don't find out for a couple of months on that, so we'll see how it all goes. We'll just carry on with what's on the pipeline right now and hopefully have some more cool looking stuff as we go forward. Yeah. Appreciate it, and we will catch you on the next one.